Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Not a Trekkie, an all Star Wars Everything podcast brought to you by Red Cyclone Inc. Everything from Andor to Rebel Ones to Clone Wars to Obi-Wan. Now, I cannot express this anymore. There is no hate. This ain't Stargate, this ain't Star Trek, this is Star Wars. I'm your host, Tenacious T, a.k.a. Tatsukawa, my co-host for the Not a Trekkie podcast, the Merc with the Mic.
He almost forgot his name.
I did. I have too many AKAs, bro. Like, I really do. I really do.
I'm just staring at this last Ronin, and I'm thinking about, what if he has some lightsabers?
I mean, we had a conversation before about a crossover of the Ninja Turtles into Star Wars.
Yeah.
And we were talking about who would be who.
Yeah.
Because, like, the Ninja Turtles, they have a lot of crossovers where they had the wrestling figures. You know what I mean? Which you're more savvy
I'm excited.
And I know you are.
I was hoping they would come in today because we could actually open them. Because I was going to open them. They're all going to get
super dope. That would
because they're going to go with those.
Yeah, I mean those are. Bro, I saw the ones. Obviously, everybody out there in podcast land can't see the visual. This man, the Merc with the Mic, has an amazing setup of a treasure trove of everything that he loves.
Yeah.
He is a man of wrestling. He's a man of turtles. He's a man of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I think those are the three major things for you.
Yeah.
I know you got a heap load of other shit out there in the world. But it's those three accents who you are as a person.
Yeah, because I love Marvel, I love DC, but I kind of stopped collecting those.
That's embedded in your DNA. You don't need to show that.
Yeah.
Your knowledge of comic books, of the Marvel and the DC universe.
I do got a ton of Marvel Legends Spider-Man.
I believe you. I've seen this man's shit. He's got closets full, and I know I've been to his mother's house. You know what I mean? Before he even moved into this place, and I've seen the treasure trove of stuff. But Marvel and DC. That's just us as an everyday thing. You know what I mean? It's like we live that. What we collect as collectible of people who collect things. Like me personally, I'm what? I
had to see what I was tasting.
I'm Power Rangers. I'm Joker. That's my wheelhouse. And retro video games.
I've been helping you with Joker.
And I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
I've been encouraging.
Man, that hot toy is still sitting in the cart right now, and I'm waiting for a good deal.
We talked about Turtles / Star Wars team up. I would love to see their weapons just lightsabers wise and shit.
Well, you know, I can see Leonardo with two.
Yeah.
With two blue lightsabers.
Yeah, because
I can see Donatello with Darth Maul's bow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because he had a bow.
Wouldn't he be like Rey?
Yeah, I guess so. In a way, Rey. You know, in a way. Michelangelo, I don't know how a lightsaber would work for him.
Oh, he would cut his arm off.
I know, because we know he has to focus on not doing that.
But, like, so the nunchuck is going to hit you no matter what.
I think maybe he doesn't have a lightsaber.
He doesn't have a lightsaber.
He doesn't have a lightsaber.
Because he would lose his arm.
Yeah. He would lose a lot.
You know, if I would do like the 4 Turtles in a Star Wars thing, I'll put Raph as Darth Vader.
If he went villain mode?
Like, if you gotta pick...
now I just...
So, if you pick the 4 Turtles to be characters, you'll pick Leo and maybe as Luke Skywalker.
Wrath as Darth Maul? Fucking phenomenal.
Or Vader.
Vader would be Shredder, bro.
Yeah,
he would definitely 1,000% be Shredder. You can't even discredit that. Splinter would be Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Or Yoda.
Because he's hairy? Yeah. But Splinter does not hold an account to what Yoda is. I think Obi-Wan would probably work better for the younger years.
So,
we don't know, but the older years, because the older years of Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's more, doesn't really do too much. He's more just a mentor.
All right, so let's do this. So make it easier to pinpoint each character. The 4 Turtles, Splinter, April, Casey.
April is Princess Leia.
And Shredder.
April is Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Shredder is Darth Vader.
Okay.
Krang is Emperor Palpatine. It works out. It works out perfectly for him. For me, now this is for me.
Yeah.
I ain't speaking for you. I think Casey Jones would be Han Solo.
Okay.
I can see him as a Han Solo, 100%. Leo would be, Leo's tough.
Leo's Luke.
Cal Carithian,
I do Luke.
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Michelangelo would be Chewbacca. Chewbacca's, he's Chewbacca.
Okay.
Donatello would be R2-D2 or C-3PO. Probably C-3PO.
Both. It would be him and Metalhead.
Metalhead? Metalhead would be C-3PO.
And then Donatello would be R2-D2.
Oh,
So
man.
this would be mine.
Now my brain is going.
This is mine just because I want to add everything into it.
With everybody out there that doesn't understand what we're talking about right now, go and check out the Shell Shock podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, we're literally coming right off of that right into this. So this is where our mind state is at.
So I will try to pick a character for each thing that's going on now. I'll put Raph. I said like Darth Maul or Vader. I will give him Mando.
Mandalorian? Mandalorian is reserved. You can't do that. He would be more Leo than he would be Raph. He obliges by a code. You feel me? Leo is more of a code than anything.
You know what? All right. So let's do this.
Oh man, we're going off now.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
So Donatello, I'm not gonna do CPU. I'm not gonna make him a robot. I'm gonna give him a character.
General Grievous.
Right, with the forearms and shit.
No, that would be Michelangelo. He would work more because the way he works the lightsabers is more like a nunchuck.
So yeah, Shredder.
If you're doing villain mode, because I can do villain mode.
Shredder Vader, 100%. I'll put Bebop and Rocksteady as IG-88 and Boba Fett.
Yeah,
but they have small suits and their belly shows.
Fat Boba Fett.
Yeah, there you go. And the helmet don't fit his head.
It just sits on top like a cap.
Sits on top.
I can see it.
I'll do Leo as Luke. I keep Leo as Luke. I'll put Mikey. As. You know what? I'll give Mikey Mando. I'll give Donatello. I'll give Lando. He's gonna be Lando Calrissian.
For who? Donatello?
Yeah.
Lando?
Yeah.
How dare you? He only redeemed himself in fucking in the Rise of Skywalker.
And then I'll give Raph. I give Raph Maul. Kylo Ren.
Ooh. I think Kylo Ren is Raph. Emotional.
Yeah. And then
having something to prove.
April Leia.
Oh, well, she's the only female presence.
Irma,
really.
I'll throw Rey.
No, I can't do Irma as Rey. It'd be that. I love that Wookiee. Would be perfect for her.
and then, you know what? Since Donatello gotta be
Chewbacca. Fuck it.
Chewbacca.
Which would fit him perfectly because you don't want to beat him in a game of chess.
And in case you beat Han Solo.
I mean, that is just in our warped, twisted minds of how we would implement the Ninja Turtles into toys for, because the Ninja Turtles has been coming out with some dope-ass figures.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is not a Trekkie podcast, so why not implement the Ninja Turtles into that world?
Yes.
Because they've been in the Batman world. They've been in the Power Ranger world. They've been in so many different worlds out there, bro. You know what I mean? The ongoing evolution of the Ninja Turtles is real. So why not have a robot chicken version of the Ninja Turtles where they actually are that?
Yep.
It'd be dope.
Yep.
And everybody go and check out that robot chicken episode of of Star Wars. Because for me, it's probably the greatest thing that Star Wars has ever created.
Yes. So, today's cast, of Not Trekkie, we are going to be giving our verdict of Season 2 of Star Wars The Clone Wars.
So the difference between Season 1 and Season 2 right now is that we are not splitting it into twos. We are going to give an entire verdict
the whole
of the
shebang.
22 because it's too much. It's too much to split in half. We forget a lot of stuff. I don't want to discredit the fans out there, especially Sriracha, which I would like to talk about right now. This man, my friend, my business partner, the boss's husband, Cholula's father, Coach Jeffrey's brother-in-law. And if you listen to the Popcorny podcast, you will understand that reference. Everybody go and check out the Popcorny.
I feel like none of you are going to still
No, nobody on this platform will understand that unless you go to the Popcorny podcast right now, and you will understand the reference of that. He told me the other day, we are watching the Tales of... What's the new thing that's out on Disney Plus?
The Tales of
Star Wars, basically.
Tales of the Jedi or something.
Tales of the Jedi. Yeah. So we got to do a heated discussion about, and when I mean heated, I mean heated. Like, I'm passionate, he's passionate, I'm hurting. I was just throwing up in the parking lot watching the Black Adam because I went to a Halloween party the night before.
Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah. So we got into the conversation because Tales of the Jedi ties in a lot of A Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Which is the first time since A Phantom Menace came out that there's some real tie-ins.
Yeah.
So he tried to tell me that A Phantom Menace matters. And I tried to tell him, with every fiber of being in my body, that we can live without it.
I made you a believer.
Oh, well, I never was fond of that movie ever.
But I think through our cast, I made a good argument about it. And you start falling.
But I believe that more than ever. You know what I mean? And he has the argument, the heated conversation, that shit matters. And in all reality, it doesn't.
Honestly, with episode 1...
I forgot where I was going with this.
Yeah.
Because I've been drinking a little bit.
It's okay.
But I'm doing an unplugged session right now, which is a popcorny kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is about Sriracha. Okay. But, continue, my bad. Because I totally forgot what I was saying. Totally was.
So, the argument most likely is... So, if you go back to our Phantom Menace review and our verdict on our Not Trekkie cast, I pretty much said that Phantom Menace does not have to exist. Because everything in plot point is on Clone Wars. And all you could have done is had a fast track to that movie.
Yeah. Could have had a flashback.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand.
You could explain Anakin Skywalker's point in there with maybe 30 minutes of a...
What was that movie? A
flashback.
Fucking race?
Yeah.
And how Yoda said, no, he is not the one.
Yeah.
You should not be doing that. And then we got Qui-Gon Jinn saying, no, he is the chosen one. And we all saw how that verdict turned out. All right?
He got cut in half.
100%.
He deserves it. He talked shit.
But this season, from the first season, did you feel a difference from? Because I feel like the first season, it was kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
As much as I actually liked the first season of Clone Wars, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all right. Now I remember it. Like, it jogged my memory. So me and Sriracha are going through a heated conversation, and then he was like, "Yo, bro, you never seen Clone Wars? You not this? You're not a real true Star Wars fan." I'm like, "Bro, like, I started watching Star Wars when I was 21.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, so my love is more based on the movies because I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
But that is lore to me. That's fact.
Yeah.
Everything else is a telltale to me. So when we talk about Clone Wars, me going through it now is like he kind of called me as a friend. Nah, I love you, bro. You're my brother. You know what I mean? Like, you're my brother for days. Who gives a shit if I seen fucking Clone Wars or not?
Yeah.
But don't tell me that A Phantom Menace was a good fucking movie, because it really wasn't.
You know, I know a lot of people love the movie. I personally did not care for it. It was hard for us to go through these movies again. it was harder for me to go through him because I started actually I'm really looking at the flaws.
You had an adult, rational mind to the way the movie is filmed, the way the story is, because at the time we were kids, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can put the veil over our eyes then. You can't put the veil over our eyes now. Reality is reality. A Phantom Menace highlighted one of the dopest fucking villains ever and made him fall like he's nothing. Darth Maul should have kept going.
I am actually looking forward to the Darth Maul shit in this series.
Well, I know he was more live in the comics and stuff like that.
No, I heard he's in the series.
That's good.
And so I'm actually
portrayed by the same dude.
Yeah. He's in Clone Wars. So I'm actually wondering how he's gonna come back and what he's gonna do.
So he didn't die. If he's in Clone Wars, he didn't die in Phantom Menace.
He had a super glue in his pocket, and he just glued himself together.
Well, he's the only person that killed fucking what's his face in any movie besides Batman. Yeah. Batman killed him. What's
Batman killed everybody.
Batman kills dogs.
Batman doesn't kill everybody. He brings you to
he killed the dog in the Dark Knight, bro.
He gives he brings you to a blink of death, and then you make.
Tell me where it is.
Yeah, they murder your people.
But so, my original question before I remembered where I had a memory lapse, and I apologize for the unorthodoxness.
It's whatever.
I don't give a fuck. This is our cast. We do what we want. From the first season to the second season, like straight to the point. Did you feel a difference in the shift of story?
There was more consistent story in the second season, as in there's more episodes that tied into each other than the first season. The
first noticeable thing that I noticed is the lack of Yoda in this season.
We got him in the last episode.
We got a couple episodes where he comes walking in with a cane, but in the first season, we got to see him battle fucking droids. You got to see him whoop some ass. You know what I mean? In this season, in the beginning, first half was Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Which was a majority of the first season.
I really liked that, though.
I did, too. I think it was like the second or third episode where it was like, I watched them murder somebody, and I was like, this is for kids?
I also liked the cowboy dude.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, I mean, he was introduced in the first season, and then the second season came in, and he was more of the bounty. That because I never knew who he was.
I think this season in general introduced the bounty hunters, and they kind of really took over the whole season. Like they were there throughout the whole season.
And the disruption between the Republic.
Yes.
Like everybody trying to sabotage, stab people in the back. How many times? Especially going down with Obi-Wan Kenobi. We finally got a love interest with Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then they tried to assassinate her. Then they tried to assassinate Palpatine. Not Palpatine, Queen Amidala. Senator Amidala at this moment in time.
I got annoyed at that episode.
What for? Why?
I don't know. I did not like that episode.
It's just like I can understand because I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes in a row.
It wasn't
even kind of the same.
It wasn't even her. It was Anakin annoyed the shit out of me in that episode.
Anakin annoys me the entire time because I want to see a side of the dark side. This is after Attack of the Clones.
Well, you saw the side.
He murdered an entire field of people, an entire fucking civilization of people before this fucking season starts, before the even Clone Wars starts. Why don't we see a dark side of Anakin?
You kind of do because
when he killed the one dude.
No, but
he did it so nonchalantly.
But he did it. He was really jealous.
When
jealousy goes into the dark side.
Yeah, well then Ahsoka should not be a Jedi whatsoever, because she doesn't pay attention. She doesn't listen. It took to like the third to last episode for that one guy was like, "Yo, listen, you need to start blending."
She's just like Anakin.
Yeah, but obviously that doesn't pave true to be a good thing.
But she goes into a better path than Anakin.
I don't know the history.
Anakin burns his legs and arms and becomes a half robot, half man. Probably smells like s'mores.
Where is Anakin in the Clone Wars to be like this ultimate fighter pilot? Where have you seen that so far?
He was a pilot. Oh yeah.
I understand he's the greatest pilot ever.
He don't fly shit.
I barely flies. barely
I
does
think
anything.
that was the big issue we had in the Phantom Menace too. Is the fact that he said he was he was like, he didn't fly shit.
Well,
he
Phantom Menace, he's
lucky.
a kid.
He got lucky.
In Attack of the Clones, he doesn't fly, but he's the greatest
Yeah.
fighter pilot of the Jedi ever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's how he got introduced in A New Hope. He was the shit.
But they probably lied too.
You know what I mean? Like this season, me personally, this season was better than the first season. Even though the first season I think was more action packed, it's like it had to sell you.
Yeah.
It had to lure you into the idea of what they are trying to do.
I think they had an even amount of action in this one. I like the whole bounty hunter story and going into it. Like we actually saw the bounty hunters, even bounty hunters that we never actually see in action in the movies. We actually saw in action in these. I liked it that Boba Fett went for revenge, and he kind of.
I wish it was a little earlier.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I've noticed in the 2 seasons is that it really accents a lot on the clones.
Yeah.
Which is the title of the show, is Clone Wars.
Yeah.
It makes sense. The best episode to me was the one episode that reminded me of that story of when America was going against Germany, right?
Yeah.
And it was Christmas Day, and they were wandering in the woods. Like, this is like a famous story. I don't know if it's an urban legend or it actually happened.
Yeah.
But when I was watching this episode, it reminded me of like the tale of when the Russians were going through the woods and they found this old lady in the woods, and she was like, "It's snowing out, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Why don't you come in?" And then the Americans come walking in, and they have a standoff right there, and she's like, "No, you guys stop. Sit down, have a Christmas dinner together."
Yeah.
You know, it's like that story. I know it's not verbatim that, but it was the story of a rogue clone who said, "Fuck all this. I'm going to live my life."
Yeah.
Has kids. You know what I mean? And like the main general comes in, and he's like, the kid's like, "Yo, you look like my father."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that was the most powerful episode to date so far of what we've seen in a Clone Wars.
One thing I started liking is the fact that you started seeing the different personalities on all the clones.
Like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't just their haircuts.
No, you actually started seeing the personalities, and this is kind of what leads into the Bad Batch down the road, too, because they all kind of start their own personalities and getting away from what they usually are. And you kind of see it a lot in this season. I liked Ahsoka a lot throughout this series. It kind of gave.
But she was like
story.
half of the season.
Yeah,
she
you
was
kind of
like
got more.
It wasn't
story
totally about her, which is good because there's so much going on between the Republic and everybody else.
I got very annoyed of Anakin.
Anakin, fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I'm tired of his shit.
And
Go dark, kill somebody.
Yeah.
He killed that one dude. He was like, he was gonna kill us all. Like,
yeah. But I like where it's going. I see where it's going. I like where it's going. I like the whole bounty hunter things. I thought the characters were great. The chick was fucking badass.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. She was
busting everyone's ass, and I actually really enjoyed that as well. So,
if I was Ewan McGregor, I'd be really mad at this show.
Yes.
And I told this shit to you at work. Like, why do you gotta accent the fucking little lump on my forehead for? I noticed that more in this season than I noticed anything. Because, bro, every single time he's like, Anakin, da-da-da-da-da-da. And his beard looks like a fucking brush. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I've felt in this season more is like I got rid of the bad image of the CG. And I thought of it as like the multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
When it got blown through the walls.
Yeah.
This is a universe, and this is the way they look in the universe. They're not a CG character of him. It's just that universe of him. I started thinking of it down the terms of that.
Yeah.
And it made it so much better to me. You know what I mean? Like, it made it like these guys are really trying to do shit, trying to make things happen, and that's the way they look. It's just a shitty universe of CG. If you remember Multiverse of Madness, they were fucking paint at one point in time bursting through the walls. You know what I mean? Like, the multiverse of squirts, or whatever the fuck we said. That's a little inside joke for everybody else out there.
But yeah. I think we also got some of the story of the other side of the Mandalorian shit with the chick looking for the sword, and they kind of introduced that into the series as well.
That doesn't that lead into Mandalorian as well later in the future?
Later on, yeah.
So like I didn't know,
supposed to be after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, it's 6 to 8 years after.
Yeah.
So it's like
a
lot of the lore of what's happening leads up to that.
But I know we're gonna get more of her down the road, so I'm actually happy they introduced the character. Again, I like the characters they introduced. I'm interested where it's gonna go eventually.
You've seen this whole show?
Hmm?
I'm pretty sure I've asked you this a couple of times in the last cast, but you've seen the show in its entirety?
No.
It's your first time going through.
I'm going.
You're not a Star Wars person.
I'm going with a blank slate as much as you are. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care either, bro.
I'm more like, all right, I'm watching it now. So fucking what? I don't need to be a fan. So I have issues with that. Why? So I'm a fan. I actually like. Again, I have.
You've
my
become a fan.
No, I've been a fan.
Like, I remember you telling me that you watched the remastered version in the movie theaters with your mother back in like the 90s.
No, but I watched the original. I watched the original Fox tapes as well.
No, I own them.
Yeah, I have them as well. I got them from my video store today. And then they closed down.
You used to work at Blockbuster.
No, even before that, I worked in the neighborhood video store, and they had the original copies of the Fox version of them.
For the Lucas cuts.
I took them.
I respect it.
Because he moved to a smaller store, so the video store was 2 floors.
Okay.
And then he moved to a smaller store that he had to get rid
of.
Well,
living out in Manhattan, I can understand it being 2 stores depending on the dynamic of the building. You know what I mean?
So he got rid of a lot of tapes. I took all the wrestling tapes, and I took the Star Wars tapes. Those are the ones I took.
And I used to dumpster dive in the back of Blockbuster over in Shirley on Long Island. And that's where I got like the Truman Show. I got like a whole bunch. I actually got WCW Revenge out of the dumpster. It was fucking dope, and it still worked beautifully. All you have to do is clean the erosion, the corrosion on the thing. Fucking made it beautiful.
But going into that, I'm not. I'll say I like Star Wars. I like the concept of the stories. I like what it means. And there's
pop culture today owes them a debt.
Yeah.
They are the ones. Star Wars. Don't get me wrong. There's an entire history. There's a monsterverse. There's so much things, sci-fi and fantasy that happen. Lost in Space. All this. That Metropolis, which alone is the idea of C-3PO.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of sci-fi. All the fucking Twilight Zones and everything like that.
Yeah.
This harnessed everything into one.
Yeah, no, 100%. When creating this, it looks like he took ideas from everything and just.
Well, that's what he had to work with in 1977.
No,
you know
100%.
What I mean?
I like the concept of Star Wars. I'm a fan to a point that, like, I see the movies the day one, things like that. Do I have issues with the movies? 100%. Do I think they're great? Some of them are.
I'd say about 70% of them
but
are.
I also will take, again, I don't review things without having to watch them. I don't review things without having to experience them.
I don't have an opinion unless I've seen it.
Exactly. So I don't like the whole concept of people saying, "Oh, you're not a fan because you didn't see this."
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't like that.
I appreciate that.
I 100% don't like that.
Don't tell me I'm not a fan because I didn't read the comics, because I didn't read the trades.
You like Ninja Turtles, right?
Love the Ninja Turtles.
Did I ever judge you for not watching 2003 or 2016?
Not at all, because that wasn't my time to watch it.
But understandably.
But you respected that I love the Ninja Turtles.
I was like, yo, you should check that out. You should check that out. As a fan, if you're the true fan, you should encourage your person to watch the things.
To enlighten them into the universe a little bit more. Maybe it might broaden your horizons.
Instead of saying, "Oh, you're not a real fan if you didn't watch this."
Me and him were just going through it at the moment. Like, we know how to test each other's buttons. But in all reality, I was sitting there talking to him, and Sriracha, I love you, baby. I love you to death. You're my brother, and everything like that. You already know damn well. But your opinion of a Phantom Menace is wrong. In my world, your opinion of a Phantom Menace is wrong. It is. We could totally live without it. I understand, like, there's a lot of filler gaps where Clone Wars comes into play, where Rebel Ones come into play, that people who have been hardcore fans, like, shouts out to my boy Pete, shouts out to my boy Bigga. If you go back to the original Not a Trekkie podcast, I shouted them out religiously because they were informing me of the politics, because there's a whole other world of Star Wars that's beyond what is shown in cinematography form. You know what I mean? These shows are not the original thought of what George Lucas has created. Yes, a Clone Wars is a baby form of the idea of what he built off of the prequels. You know what I mean? So he wanted to keep the legacy of Star Wars going. I get that. Me being a person growing up not giving a shit about Star Wars because I had so much other things that I was involved in. I fell asleep every single time I watched a Star Wars movie. It took up until Mike Wazowski, who I shout out on every single podcast that we do for the Not a Trekkie Podcast. He is the reason why he forced me to sit down. Just because my love, my fanaticness of Star Wars doesn't rely on reading everything or seeing everything, does not make me not a fan.
Yeah.
I've seen these movies more than a lot of people have.
Yeah.
In my short amount of time. Me and my brother, shouts out to my brother, who I shout out every single Not a Trekkie podcast. We watch these movies religiously.
Yeah.
The movies is lore to me.
Yeah.
Everything else is a side story. I'm not saying that it's not factual. If George Lucas has his hands in it, it makes it real.
George Lucas has no.
George Lucas did a Clone Wars. He's the executive producer and he's the writer of a lot of it.
Yeah.
You can see his name on a lot of shit. Now, I'm not negating what Clone Wars is. Clone Wars is good.
Yeah.
It's good for what it is at this moment in time.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that I'm anticipating from the movies that we've seen.
Yeah.
If this is at the end of Attack of the Clones and between Revenge of the Sith, why aren't we seeing more emotional Anakin Skywalker? This is what fucks me up about the show.
Yeah.
It's still him being the Padawan of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I think we're going to start seeing it, like, maybe season 4 up. That's where you're going to start seeing it.
I understand it. Now, Marco is a person at work who we talk about here and there about Star Wars, and he's knowledgeable. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
His opinion in his world matters, and I listen to him. When he tells me, listen, he's a geek. He's a geek.
Yeah.
We might not agree with him on a lot of things, nor do I even want to mention his name on our podcast. But when he speaks about certain things, and it makes sense to me, I listen.
Yeah.
I don't rebuttal it. I only rebuttal things that I don't agree with. So when he tells me that it's a good series, I believe it because he is a person that's knowledgeable in this world.
Yeah.
He is more knowledgeable in the side stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
No. I talked to him many times. He's really big into the novels. He's really big into the trade paperbacks and things like that. And there's a lot of novels.
Hey, man, I respect it. 2 days ago, he came into work.
Yeah.
He's like, I brought your Bible in. I'm like, what is this? And he hands me a hardcover of The Last Road, and I'm like, yes, bro. You finally gained points back in my book because I was hating on you for a long time. Respect.
I'm glad he's reading it. It's a good story. That's a great story. But anyway,
Scott
Steiner.
Scott Steiner. Haven't heard that in a long time.
Scott Steiner's an asshole. He likes to interrupt everything with his bad mathematics.
I mean, he's probably decaying as an adult now.
He has crazy ass mathematics, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, we go into these things, and again, like I have an issue when the fandoms say, "Oh, you're not a fan because you don't even watch this." No, you're not a fan.
You didn't read the comics. You didn't read this.
I could do the same thing to y'all. I don't. Like, I love No Way Home. Have you read the comics? No. Oh, I've been reading all fucking.
Holy shit! You love the Power Rangers. Did you watch fucking RPD?
Yeah.
No, because you stopped at fucking this, and
Everyone's
you think that this is this.
Fan. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. So
there's levels. There's levels of intellect when it comes to it.
I don't like hatred on fandom.
Respect.
I feel like you need to encourage fandom and not hate on fandom.
Now, Sriracha, we're I'm not going at you, bro. I'm not going at you. I don't want you to think that we are going at you.
But it goes into it as in encourage the person to watch it instead of judging the person from
us being geeks. We gotta forever evolve.
Yeah,
we gotta keep going. You know what I mean? Like, we decided collectively together to start a Star Wars podcast.
Yeah, with
the limited resources of what we grew up with.
Yeah,
learning it together.
Yeah,
this is the basis of what our cast is.
100%.
We did all the movies. Those movies we've seen a million times in our lives. You know what I mean? Regardless of the age that we tuned in. Because I tuned in later. Even though I watched it when I was younger, wasn't intrigued by it, got into it later in life.
Yeah, that's fine.
So now, with what we have at our hands, it intrigues you to dive down into the other things. Don't judge me because I didn't see something. I'm not a cartoon person.
Well, we're going into it. And we're taking the time. We're actually going through it. So little by little, you're going to be having that cartoon ability to go on again.
Little by little, I'm going to be more knowledgeable than the fucking most knowledgeable person out there.
It goes into a point that, encourage it.
Don't negate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't discredit it.
Do you want me to watch it? Because if you're saying, you're not a fan, like, I'm not going to watch it then. Just to
I'm that person. I am totally that out of spite.
Exactly.
Because you told me that I'm all right.
So don't do that. Encourage the geekum. Don't.
Bro, we're geeks by nature.
Exactly.
We choose to be this way.
But that's the way it is. You're supposed to encourage people to watch what you want.
Do I think of Clone Wars so far has been good? Yeah.
No, it's been surprisingly good.
It's better than the expectations that I had for it.
So I don't want to. So Slovaki.
Man, you had to say his name.
No, because he.
I will not say a single word after you speak about this, but for personal reasons.
He is a big Star Wars fan.
I know he is, and
he's seen all the Clone Wars. So honestly, he's the one that's kind of been encouraging me to watch it. As in, he was like, "Oh, did you get to this yet?" And I'm like, "What's that?" And he was explaining a little bit, but without spoiling it. He was explaining a little bit,
showing passion behind it.
And he was like, "Oh, it's gonna be really good." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm actually looking forward to that now." And he's been very knowledgeable with it. Like, he was like, "Oh, where you at here and where you at there," and he actually been kind with actually showing like, "Oh, when you get to this, it's gonna be like easy going after this." And he said straight up, season 3. Once it goes to season 3, after that, it gets balls of shit.
So, giving credit where credit's due, Sue Block from the block, says that after season 3, that's when shit hits the fan, and that's when you need to pay attention. Yeah. Everything else is filler, it's dialogue. Don't get me wrong, it's important.
It's building.
It's important. Season 2 of Clone Wars has been nothing but sabotage between the Republic, right? Ahsoka and Anakin going back and forth of what she should think and feel, while at the same time Anakin going through what he should think and feel, because Obi-Wan still is the hierarch of them. You know what I mean?
And him getting jealous.
There's a lot more Mace Windu in this season, which ties in a great story arc of the last 3 episodes of the season, which brings in a young form of Boba Fett, which I think is important because I never knew anything. I knew he was a clone version of Jango Fett that was raised by Jango Fett. So he feels entitled than everybody else, and we know that from The Mandalorian, and we know that from Boba Fett. So if you've never seen a Clone Wars, you know verbatim that he feels special because he wasn't a clone, even though he was, but he was raised by the original clone as a son. So those last 3 episodes are really important in this season. Really important. Everything else in this season of season 2 of Clone Wars is dialogue. It is back and forth. It is stabbing the Republic. Palpatine still a senator. You're seeing little hints of his master plan, especially with the I thought the 2-part episode with the monster was dope.
Yeah, it was good.
I think that was probably the best part of the season, because in every single Star Wars movie there's a big monster.
Yeah.
In all 6 of the originals. And I mean original as in not a side one like Rogue One, not a side one like Solo. Now shouts out to Straw Hat T.Y., my boy Casper, Tyler, had never seen a Star Wars movie in his life.
Yeah.
The other day in the gym, we're hanging out, and he's like, I'm going to start watching Star Wars. I'm like, you better start the theatrical versions first. You do not go by timeline, because it's going to throw you off. It really is. The difference between the prequels and the original 3 is that the first one wasn't supposed to have a sequel. Yeah. You have to watch the first one first.
I don't think so. The thing is, those original cuts are hard to find now.
Well, no, I meant
because even in Disney,
A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi.
But
you know what I mean?
The thing that's gonna fuck him up is the fact that he's gonna see Hayden Christensen as one of the ghosts.
Yes, and I told him that in the gym. Like, you got to understand, there is a Lucas cut that changed everything around.
Yeah.
But don't be discouraged by that. But I told him straight from the jump, you have to watch A New Hope. You have to watch Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi before you go to the prequels. You have to know who Darth Vader is to be intrigued why there is a prequel.
Yeah.
You have to. Okay. I'm sorry. You can't start. Because if you're going to go theatrical version, you're going starting with Solo.
Yeah, you start Solo.
It will make you turn the fucking thing off. Besides Woody Harrelson, you're going to turn that fucking thing off and not continue. Because it's going to be Solo, Rogue One, A New Hope, and then you're going to continue
what
that.
You got to do is watch the originals, watch the prequels, watch the new ones, and then watch the side ones.
You have to start with A New Hope. It's the thing that started 100%. It all.
You got to see how you feel with that one.
So I was wrong. You wouldn't start with Solo. You would start with Phantom Menace. Do that. Then do Solo, Rogue One.
It'd be Phantom Menace, Solo.
No, Solo's after Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah?
It definitely is, 100%.
So it'll be...
But Solo would be... Because keep in mind, Solo is Han Solo young. Han Solo's still young in A New Hope.
Yeah.
He's not old.
So it'll be Phantom Menace, Clone Wars.
Do it
Clone Wars
the
series.
way the world was intended to be.
Revenge of the Sith.
Learn who Darth Vader is first. Then search the reason why he became Darth Vader. Then go into the future of what happens after everything, and then discover what happened in between it. There is a line that needs to be followed. This is not the MCU.
Yeah.
This is not the MCU where you can start off with the first Avenger and be okay. Except for the exit credits, the end credits.
No, you can't.
The end credits are the only thing that fuck up the MCU.
No, you can't, because you gotta get Iron Man story. You gotta get
I understand,
Hulk story. No,
but there is a cinematic line and there's a theatrical line. I'm a theatrical person.
Cinematic line. You're watching Captain America: First Avenger first.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Yeah,
you have to watch that. If you're gonna do it in that way, no. You start off with Iron Man because the end credit leads into Hulk.
Yeah.
You watch the Hulk. The end credits lead into this. It was strategically made.
Stop doing the quadrilateral.
Watch it the form it was made in its original form.
You're just gonna get confused.
So Tyler, Straw Hat, my man, Popcorny Podcast all day. Totally told him that. He was like, no, I'm gonna start off. No, start off with A New Hope.
No, you have
Show
to.
what happened in 1977 to what the explosion was.
Yeah.
You need to know it from the beginning. Then you watch Empire Strikes Back, which is arguably the greatest Star Wars movie ever. Arguably. Because we know our truth.
Our truth is one.
Our truth is different, but our truth is better.
Andor is fantastic.
Our truth is better. I haven't seen Andor yet, and I'm happy that it's over because now I can binge watch it.
So good.
Even though next cast is going to be the holiday special.
Yeah.
And then after that, we'll figure it out from there.
We gotta find those holiday movies. They're on Disney Plus.
Yeah, everything's on there. But it's important to know this. So where I see this happening, and I have a lot of problems with the Clone Wars, is I've seen the movies. I've seen where this is supposed to lie. Anakin Skywalker is not that. He's monotone, fun, the fun mentor. He is not the Anakin Skywalker in Attack of the Clones. He's not that.
I think we're gonna start seeing the building of Anakin throughout the season. So I 100% think he's gonna start. I think he's still
building up a little bit.
Yeah, he's gonna start backing off from Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, it was open. Alright, he's gonna start like going against Obi-Wan Kenobi. I feel like he's gonna start showing the dark side of him and the dark side tendencies and stuff like that. I think he's gonna. You're gonna start seeing the lead to the dark side kind of thing. Because again, we're only in the second season. There's like 8 seasons of this, so we gotta build on to that. And I think little by little, I think we're gonna do. You also see the back and forth between Ahsoka and Anakin as well. So when you see that, then you actually see the story where it's gonna go. So hopefully, in the later seasons, you start seeing more of the dark side of Anakin and things like that. Again, this is our first time really watching Clone Wars, so I have no clue what's going to go on after this. So little by little, we'll get the story going.
I hope so.
Me too.
But don't get me wrong, what we've seen so far isn't bad.
No, it's not bad. I like the fact that they introduced the bounty hunters. I like the fact that they are actually showing other Jedis besides the ones we know. We see the ones that we've never seen before.
The fact that I watched Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And I saw this badass bounty hunter dude, which I've never seen before in my life. And then I go back to something that came out in 2006, 2007, and that bounty hunter's in it. I'm like, it makes me more intrigued. I want to see where that, because obviously he doesn't die.
Yeah.
So he only is going to portray more of a role later in it. So.
Exactly.
I know this is a very unorthodox. This is more of a rant cast than it has been anything else. Because I'm going to be honest, we don't need to go verbatim episode to episode to episode, because there's only things that really resonate when it comes to watching a season.
Yeah.
It's the main focal point. You know what I mean? The main focal point is that there was a lot of adult things that happened that wowed me. That was like, wow, this is for fucking kids. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
well, technically, it's on the Cartoon Network.
This was on Cartoon Network?
Yes.
I didn't know that at 100%. All.
Yeah.
I did not think of that at all.
It went to Disney XT later on in the season, but this was all on Cartoon Network. It actually started on Cartoon Network as an animation, regular 2D animation.
Which, in recent news, Cartoon Network is no longer more.
Sadly.
Dexter Laboratory's gone forever, guys.
No, it's not.
Well, it's always in the stratosphere.
So Cartoon Network, as in the products, is all just with WB Studios.
Okay.
They're just rebranding more than they're getting rid of things. Because if they get rid of things, they're going to lose a lot of money. So they just rebranding right now.
What would you give this season, though?
I go to 4.
4? I agree. It's on the cusp. I give like 3.7, 3.8. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll do 3.7.
I actually believe it was better. I don't recall what my first rating was for the first season, because the first season we got to see Yoda do a lot more shit. Yoda was obsolete.
We gave it a 3. We gave Yoda praise, but we also had issues with the continuous story.
Yeah, this one was more like each story, each episode felt like it tied in more. Where the first season was very abstract. It was all over the place. This one was like, there's a continuous story that's going on, regardless if there's battles happening.
Yeah.
There was a lot more space stuff. I recall, like episodes, which is like such cliche episodes, where they land on a planet of people, of a race, and they don't want to fight, but they are forced to fight because the fucking bad guys come in, and then they realize that they have to fight to stand up, It's such cliche episodes, you know what I mean? We've seen it a million times in every form of pop culture. There was nothing that really truly wowed me besides the episodes with the monster. Besides the Boba Fett episodes, because Boba Fett was following this woman who left him in the dust. That whole clone episode where he walked in, and they were like, why does he have long hair for? Like, I felt that. Because we're used to the older versions of the clones who are sort of have their own identities but aren't allowed to have their own identities. Yeah. And these kids are being programmed to not have identities.
Yeah.
Where this one kid comes walking in like his name is Lucky, and he's not so lucky. You know what I mean? But then you also got to see Boba Fett show his vulnerability side, that he was still like, I don't want to kill this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, those are the episodes that matter in this season. A lot of it's filler, but it was intriguing at the same time. Yeah. It made me not think of it as a cartoon anymore, as a badly made CG thing that is only a victim of its time.
Yeah.
If it was made today, it would probably be fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of goods. This was more of a rant to you, Sriracha. And I love you, brother. I love you, baby. This is nothing new, because this is what we do on a normal basis anyway. This is what friendship is. This is the battle of the clashes of minds, of pop culture, of egos. You know, like it really shows that, and not in a bad way. It shows passion.
Yeah.
And I respect the argument.
Yeah.
Because that's what the argument is. What keeps things going.
Yeah.
It's the conversation that keeps everything alive.
Yeah.
You told me I'm not a fan. I prove you wrong, brother. I know more about the movies than you'll ever know. You might know more about something else more than me. Yeah. But I promise you, at the end, we will meet in the middle, and that's it.
I don't think you're ever not a fan. That's the big problem. I don't like that.
I'm a fan to my knowledge.
Exactly.
My world is my world.
I feel like that the whole judgment, or you're not a fan because you didn't see this, or you're not a fan, you didn't do that. If you're taking your time to put into a product and into anything,
it's crazy how this cast has become that. But it's something that's been brewing up inside of me since the last time that I had this conversation.
The last words in a sense. You're a fan if you take the time to appreciate it.
You're a fan because you say you're a fucking fan.
Yeah. If you take the time to appreciate it, 100%, you take the time to appreciate it.
Bro, it took me till I was 21 to like it. That's real. I didn't front like I was watching this since fucking birth, bro.
No, 100%.
I've been upfront about this since the beginning of time. And that's why I always shouts out Mike Wazowski, because Mike Wazowski is the one that sat me down and forced me to watch it. At 21 years old, I'm 36 now. I'm about to be 37. I have a lot of time from 21 to now. But it was more based on the movies.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like the side stuff didn't matter to me until now. It really didn't.
No, 100%. I agree.
Doesn't make me less of a fan. It makes me less knowledgeable than the people that's been engulfed in it forever.
And technically, after Disney took over, all that is not canon.
Who knows what real is, what real is not? Yeah. Only George Lucas holds the law of it.
Not even no more. No more.
No, not now.
Mickey
no.
Mouse.
before Disney Plus happened, it's George Lucas's work
against
the world.
Mickey Mouse taking his show. Like,
I love Star Wars. I love what Star Wars did for pop culture.
Yeah.
I am a true fan of what the idea of imagination behind it is.
Yeah.
It's reaching the stars, which we are not really capable of doing. And because of Star Wars, a lot of things that happen in Star Wars is happening now. In the next 100 years, Star Wars might be real.
Yeah.
You never know. But right now, all I have to go on is the movies and the fucking shows.
There you go.
The shows is an elective. I don't have to watch this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm choosing to, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because now it's increasing my geek knowledge of it.
Yeah.
So I can have an argument with somebody that tells me I don't know shit. You know what I mean?
But in general, let's not judge each other for fandom. It's not.
Still love you, brother.
It's not.
And I know you ain't even going to listen to this cast. It's okay. I already know it. Actually, no, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to tell you, I put you on blast, bro. No, because, like, when me and him argue, we're both hot-headed, but at the same time, like, mono with it.
Yeah.
Like, he was going off on me, and there was nothing that he was saying that was like, I'm not impressed, bro. like, I'm sorry. We're watching Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, I'm enjoying it, but I'm hurt because, like, I'm sick from the day before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's more of a filler, and we watched the entire season in a sitting.
Yeah.
And he had the balls to tell me that a Phantom Menace matters. I'm like, how does a Phantom Menace matter? He's like, because look, they're tying it in now. What, 20 years later? 20 years later it matters because they're tying it in to a new show. That was my argument the entire time. What, before the show happened, what the fuck were we talking about? Nobody was talking about this movie. Nobody. Anybody that watched Star Wars, you had to watch it because of the timeline. You had to.
Yeah.
Do I agree with the timeline? No, because we could have had Attack of the Clones with fucking flashbacks of everything that happened. A majority of the movie was a race. A majority of the movie was a race, and then him being freed from slavery. I get that. I would have loved a beginning stage of Darth Vader, which we finally got in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
How many years after Revenge of the Sith was Obi-Wan Kenobi? 5, 8 years?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Rogue One.
That was the version that I wanted instead of that. That should have been a fucking movie. Obi-Wan Kenobi is the third movie.
Should have been.
And I put that on wax right now
Yeah.
on the Not a Trekkie podcast.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi should have been the third movie.
I agree 100%.
Because it was perfect. It shows the torment that Obi-Wan went through.
Yeah.
Going through, losing Padme, losing Anakin, losing everything that he loved, and went into exile because he was shamed by it. You know what I mean? That is a better storyline movie than fucking Phantom Menace.
Yeah,
the only good part about Phantom Menace was Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Which was short-lived.
Yeah.
The man didn't even speak in the fucking movie.
Clone Wars did it better.
We will see. We will see it soon. We will see it soon. I'm sorry. I apologize for this unorthodox cast that we are speaking of. This is more of a rant. It's not really a review, even though we did review how we feel about the second season. But there's not too much of this season so far that I'm really truly wowed about. It's fun. It's nice. It's cool. I'm enjoying it. But I need more Anakin being dark side.
Yeah.
I need more of that to make this shit real for me.
All right.
And that's a fact. And that's a fan talking.
There you go.
A fan who don't know talking. And is intrigued about the future talking.
There you go. Yeah. I don't like hating on Phantoms. I don't like that. So I would keep that in check.
I guarantee Jeremy watched... and I love you, bro. I don't want you to think that I'm hitting you in the throat. But I know you watched Power Rangers when you were a kid. Are you a Power Rangers fan? Yes, you are. Do you know everything about Power Rangers? No, you don't.
Yeah.
Does that make you any less of a fan?
No.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It just makes your knowledge in one pocket.
Just less.
That's it.
Will I judge you as a fan if you just know that? No.
Let that man
educate you.
Let that man watch Super Sentai and think Power Rangers is something. Because we know through our Morphin Cast that Sentai is far superior than everything we have. And he's a Godzilla fan. Yeah. He's a fucking Voltron fan.
Yeah.
He's that Japanese is him. He loves that shit. King Kong, like all that. I know that's America, but still, well, maybe I don't know what fucking.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Anyway,
it's neither here nor there. There's been a rant against Sriracha from the Popcorny Podcast.
No, I just don't like that term that you're not a fan because you haven't watched this. I like the fact that you gotta encourage people to watch the things. You can't just hate on them.
Don't bewilder me.
And 100%. So, in general, don't do that. Don't be a dick. Encourage it. Encourage your fandom. 100%. I encourage my fandom. When me and you started talking about Power Rangers, we encouraged each other's fandom.
I didn't watch past Turbo when we met.
We started a podcast because I wanted to introduce you to the fandom. I wanted you to see the seasons.
Am I an expert now? About 70% I am.
Yeah.
Because I still got a lot more to learn.
No, 100%.
Super Sentai world is bigger than the American world, bro.
A great thing, for an example, when you watch certain seasons where you like, oh shit, this is actually really good. Space.
One of the top tiers. SPD, definitely.
So, like, it goes into a show that you took the time to learn about it, to educate yourself, to be a bigger fan. You're not a fan to do certain things.
So the way I look at it is like galaxies. It's space. Yeah. Space is forever growing.
Yeah.
There's no limit. Infinite is not even infinite. There's infinites on top of infinites.
My whole thing is, if you're a fan of something, educate people before you actually judge them for not being a fan.
Just because I don't agree.
Yeah.
But in this case, I'm knowledgeable about what we're disagreeing about.
Yeah.
And you're not going to beat me with it. You're not. You're not going to change my perspective of it. You're not.
100%. I agree. If you're a fan, you're supposed to educate. You're not supposed to disagree. You're not supposed to disagree. You're not supposed to dismantle their fandom.
And I love you, bro. You're my boy. You're my brother. We're starting businesses. We're part of each other's lives more than fucking ever, bro. Yeah. Your family is my family. You're my boy, and I love you, man. I love it.
Now you're making it directly towards him.
I've been directly towards him for a majority of this cast.
We're gonna wrap this up. In the end of the day, Star Wars Clone Wars, where you gave it a 4.5, right? You gave it a 4.5.
Did I? I don't recall.
Review it now.
No, I think that was the Ninja Turtle podcast. I give it a 3.5.
3.5?
3.5. Because I need more Anakin. I need more Anakin being dark.
I'll give it 3.75. I feel like the story about Ahsoka was really good. I like the building of
the monster scene. The monster 2 episodes was fucking epic.
I like the building of the bounty hunters. I like the last 2 episodes that building into it. And R2-D2 was awesome. I love R2.
R2-D2 is the least thing in this fucking thing, but he is the most utilized character in all of Star Wars.
No, 100%.
And he started showing it in this season.
So I'll go 3.75.
I'll go 3.5. I'm cool with 3.5.
Yeah. All right. So next, Not Trekkie, we will be going to season 3.
No. Holiday special, baby.
Oh yes, holiday special.
Holiday special. It's something that we should have done a long time ago.
So now we're doing the holiday special. So
every holiday special out there.
Yes.
We're gonna find out what they are. I know that the original series had a holiday special. I know that there has to be a Family Guy somewhere out there holiday special.
No, it's only Star Wars.
So we watched all of the Family Guy.
Yeah.
We did the Robot Chicken. We did the Spaceballs. We did the spoofs.
Yeah.
So there's only one holiday special.
Yeah.
And it's a movie, or is it a...
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
So that will be our next cast.
Yeah, that was the first appearance of Boba Fett.
So, now, asking you.
Yeah.
Do we go on to season 3, or do we give Andor its chime?
I think we should do Andor first, because it finished.
Because it's also of nowadays.
And then we go to season 3.
Sounds good to me.
Very good. And it gives us a break of it.
Yeah, it's tough. We got 5 podcasts between both of us, bro.
Yeah,
six with me, 7 with you. You know what I mean? It's tough.
We got 26 episodes of Turtles. We got 50 episodes of Super Sentai. Super Sentai is not forgiving whatsoever.
No, not at all. And you need to pay attention to it too. That's work, but that's fun work.
We have our shit to go. So anyway. Next cast will be the Christmas special, holiday special. We'll be reviewing the Star Wars holiday special. Did I wrap this up?
Just do the rollout.
This is the Not Trekkie Podcast. He introduces it, I end it. Follow me on social medias on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch, all Mark with the Mike. Follow my TikTok at Mark with the Mike as well. I am posting a lot of figure art and figure photography and all the new figures coming out and shit like that. I have them unboxing and putting on there, so check those out. I'm just doing it as a hobby, see where it goes.
We're doing it because we're geeks for this world.
And that too. And I'm very happy I opened the last room. He looks so good.
He does. He does. Check out the I Shell Shock. Check out the Gamer Rage podcast. Check out the Morphin Cast. Check out the Wrestling Babble. Check out everything.
Yeah.
Go back to the beginning.
Well.
Go back to the beginning. Like, share, and comment.
Yeah.
We're only as good as the community that listens to us.
Exactly. Follow Recycling on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and WordPress. They're very active on there. And shout out to our producer Mike, who makes all these podcasts pretty. So, and then follow Tenacious T.
Yes, you can follow me at Tenacious T RC Inc. on Twitter. You can also follow me on my own personal Instagram page at The Real Tatsu Wop. Follow the Popcorny.
Fake ones.
What's up?
You thought you were fake once.
No, I was never fake. I was just tainted for a little bit. And I won. And I won that motherfucking battle because you can't keep a good guy down. Follow the Popcorny Podcast on Spotify and on SoundCloud. We got about 11 episodes out there right now. You can follow the Popcorny 1975 Instagram page. You can also go and check out the TikTok Popcorny 1975 where me, Sriracha, the Merc with the Mic, Straw Hat TY, we're all active on that. That is an accumulation of everything that Red Cyclone Inc. and Popcorny has put together. You know what I mean? Collectively as brother and sister cast together. You can check them out. Soon to be on YouTube, every cast, Spotify, SoundCloud, all that. Always a shout out to Game On, retro video game store based out on Long Island in 3 separate locations. One in Smithtown, one in Patchogue, one in Miller Place, satisfying all your retro video game needs. In Lake Grove, in Smith Haven Mall is the Retro Game On Arcade, where you can bring every generation of your family and have a great ass time.
You have 12 casts on.
What's up?
You have 12.
12?
Yes.
I have 12 guests?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yes, you
I do?
do.
It's news to me. I have 12 guests?
You had 12 cast up on Popcorn.
No. If you notice, it's a typo. It goes from 10 to 12.
Oh, you fucked it up.
But if you go to SoundCloud, it says 11.
Okay.
I fucked up on the RSS, which is the database.
It's on SoundCloud?
It's on SoundCloud.
You edit?
I physically changed to SoundCloud. I have to go to the RSS to change to Spotify. What ended up happening, so this is a little side note of everything. Me and Sriracha last week, we were putting out the Comic-Con episode with me, Straw Hat, my boy Walker, of our time at Comic-Con. When I put it in on the RSS, I accidentally put it as 12 because we were talking about our cast that we did after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I messed it up. And you can't physically change it on Spotify.
It's SoundCloud.
No, it's on the RSS. The RSS is the database, is the media that sends to...
Do you have a file on SoundCloud?
Yes, but SoundCloud's its own thing. For Spotify, peep game, in order to be put on Spotify, you have to click the media account. The media account is the RSS.
So
it's not going to change. It's not going to change on SoundCloud.
I have SoundCloud. I have all the casts running through SoundCloud.
So it does say 12?
If I have to edit anything...
Does it say on 12 on mine?
No. But if I have to edit anything on SoundCloud while I'm here...
This is an elective conversation that...
Edit, track.
I understand that, but go to SoundCloud and do that to your page.
You can't do it on
Exactly.
SoundCloud you could do.
I understand that. But for Spotify is the one that is mentioned as 12.
Whatever you're doing on here goes on Spotify.
The RSS controls Spotify and
RSS
SoundCloud.
is on my thing. The RSS is on SoundCloud.
Okay.
It goes to Spotify. So wherever I edit on Spotify goes on SoundCloud.
But I can't edit on Spotify. It won't let me.
No. Wherever I edit on SoundCloud goes on Spotify.
Okay.
So edit it on SoundCloud and goes on Spotify.
Okay. Because it's supposed to be 11 episodes. Our episode
so
of
you
the
could,
COC goes on.
So you could edit on SoundCloud. You edit everything on SoundCloud and it'll go on Spotify. It'll take a couple of minutes, but it'll go on Spotify.
It's news to me, but I have my notebook and I'm going to jot it down.
And then we go over it.
Because I thought, because I Googled it, and the RSS. So everybody out there, so the conversation that we're having, if you're podcasters out there, this is important. I understand this is sided of everything that we just did.
Yeah.
This is important to know. Yeah. Because I made the mistake of putting the wrong episode in. Because what I did was convert both of our podcasts, the one from Comic-Con and the cast that we did afterwards, which would have been number 12. In my head, I jotted it down as 12 when I popped it in.
Oh, that's fine.
So it came up on Spotify as 12 when in reality it should be 11.
So
you can't edit on Spotify. So I Googled how podcasters change and edit everything. Yeah. It says specifically on whatever I fucking Googled that you got to do it from the RSS.
So are you using the RFS from SoundCloud?
So I'm using the RSS. I'm popping the cast on there and publishing it. Then I'm actually physically putting it on SoundCloud, and I'm physically putting it on Spotify. Because we sat there for a half hour, and nothing popped up. So I went on Spotify, and I clicked the media link of the RSS to upload it.
Alright, let's end the cast. We're going to end it right now, and then we're going to